What is up, everyone? No, you haven't gone mad. I am not Geordie Squires. I am Slazo, and I've taken over the Party Chat podcast. This is episode 77, and I am joined, as always, by the amazing Laura. How are you doing?
I like the fact you call me amazing. Squeaky normally just goes, Laura's here. I like this.
Look, it's that girl who lost the quiz one time.
Okay, and then won the overall quiz. Let's be fair. Let's make sure
you won the important one, and that's all that matters.
It is, and obviously games matter as well. Games matter.
Games matter. Have you had a chance to play games this week?
Why do you do this to me? Actually, yes, I did. I actually did. Oh, sorry, I was so shocked.
I'm worried about how you're like, I did! I played a game for like 5 minutes.
I played one for hours. I played a lot of Mario Kart. Finally unlocked the last character that I needed to. So that was... I have all the characters unlocked now.
Which one's
included the DLC. Yes, for the Wii U.
I like
I've
how
still
you've
got a
gone.
Wii U.
Yeah, I was gonna say I like how you've gone back to that one as the Switch one is now like a month away.
I'm buying a Switch for one game, especially one game that I own, and there's some extra stuff. Granted, it's extra cool stuff. Like if I didn't have the game, then I'd be like probably get it.
Yeah. But
it's not enough to buy a console for. And I also played some Until Dawn. I am basically making someone else play Until Dawn to prove that they're shit if they were in a horror movie. So that's what I'm doing.
Fun.
But at the end. To be fair, I say that that was my intention, but then they seem to want to try and kill every character. So now I'm just removing sharp objects from their path because it's kind of Until Dawn.
I'd be removing them from my house. I'm not gonna lie at that point.
Nice. Well, they need to come back to my house to finish the game, so I'm kind of.
You've boxed yourself in there.
Pretty much, but Until Dawn, you know, I love them sort of games, and I honestly think they're so telling how people play. I love the fact that I'm actually, like, I occasionally watch people play on YouTube, but sometimes I just can't get into it.
Right.
So I kind of like watching someone in the moment pick what they would do, and it's like, so far it's been completely opposite to me. Like, yeah, so it's kind of interesting to see someone's logic in their decisions, you know, for yourself, and really see how much different they get, and stuff like that.
Well, we had that with Life is Strange. Like, we took fairly similar paths, apart from a few areas, but I won't hammer home that point again.
Yeah,
but
didn't to kiss her, okay? I didn't think it was that sort of kiss, and if you know what I'm on about, if you played the game, I hope you agree, and you can tweet us. So
tweet at Law.
I totally thought it was a friendly kiss too, and I didn't realise it was a commitment. That's what you need to tweet me. I'd be completely freaked out because you'll give me no context, but I will eventually work it out and be like, I was right.
And be like, oh, I shouldn't have blocked them. But yeah, I have actually had a chance to play some more Zelda, so I've now done my second Divine Beast, which was an interesting one because I won't go into massive spoilers on it or anything. But I was in the area where you essentially have to do all the fireproofing stuff. So at first you literally run past everything like a madman because the game's like, look, here's the settlement. Do you want to interact? And I'm like, I'm going to die in 2 minutes. No, I don't. I want to get through here and get the armour that makes me immune to fire from the sky. But no, actually...
That seems like logic. Like, you would play a game like I would. We kind of play it the same. I also would run away from fire too.
Dear. But yeah, no, getting to do that Divine Beast, that was good fun. Like, probably the most interesting part of the game is, like, before you can do the Divine Beast dungeons, there's usually, like, there's a build-up, essentially. So I've done 2 of those, and one of them is, like, you're surfing across the water, shooting off ice projectiles, and trying to shoot electric arrows at the Divine Beast. And then the second one was kind of more like stealth section, weirdly. Like, nothing Metal Gear level. But it was a case of they had like sentry drones around, so you had to either use your magnetic powers to drop boxes on them, or sneak around them, or just various different ways of trying to like sabotage your way to the final dungeon. So yeah, no, that was good fun. I'm enjoying it. Probably not going to finish it before the next big game comes out. seeing as I've got, well, as this podcast goes live, -1 days. So,
Wow. And I totally know what game you're referring to because I am totally in the know. I was actually surprised. You know what the best thing, because we're going to be talking about it a bit later, I assume, briefly, in the release
I'm going to assume we're going to talk about it.
Yeah. Basically, I loved the amount of tweets I kept seeing of people going, oh my god, I can't believe it's out next week. I honestly thought it'd be delayed again, was everyone's tweet. I saw about 7 different people tweet that, and I was kind of like...
It's more...
Wow.
Like...
Ow.
Spoilers, it's Persona 5. But I thought it was coming out at the end of the month until like 2 weeks ago when I looked at my Amazon pre-order and was like, oh... Start of the month. Got ya.
What a strange concept. Something that comes out at the start of the month.
But
Crazy.
Anyway, so we'll get to that in a little bit. But basically, if you've not listened to the Party Chat podcast before, hi, we talk about games. Surprise. In this show, we're going to go over some news items. I believe we've got 6 nice news items. We're going to plug some cool stuff that's happening on our YouTube channel, which is the exclusive place to check out this Party Chat podcast as of now. I don't know if we have plans to go back on iTunes in the future. You'd have
plans.
You'd have to ask the Lord and Master, but he's buggered off to America, so who knows.
That's just from Slazo there.
Yeah, that's yeah. It's me. I'm a spiteful guy. But yeah, and we're also
you are.
Yep, we're going to have a topic of the week, which this week will be comparing Western and Japanese RPGs, and then I don't know, I'll probably say a funny joke or something at the end. There you go. Hilarious.
I'm going to be honest. Just saying it's comparing Western RPGs. It's basically comparing RPGs Laura plays against RPGs Slazo plays.
I know. It's like I picked the topic for a reason.
I know, it's crazy. It's basically, you took away Squiggy, because I think he would be a Western RPG kind of guy.
Squiggy is in the awkward in-between where he plays Kingdom Hearts and Mass Effect, so who knows where you put him.
Is nice.
But anyway, let's get straight into the news. So we'll start off with some release date announcements, starting off with a Japanese game Laura will probably have never heard of. So, Valkyria Revolution is coming out on June 30th for the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PS Vita. Have you heard of this game, Laura?
Yes, I have!
You have? Wow.
Don't know what it is. I've heard of the brand.
Well, basically, this is the latest game in the Valkyria Chronicles franchise.
Yeah, which is... I'm kind of shocked you didn't think I would know.
You're doing well. You're doing well. This is a good start. So yeah, there were 3 Valkyria Chronicles games that came out over the years, although we never got the 3rd one. And the original was re-released on PS4, I believe, late last year. It's on sale right now if you want to play it, so go for it. But yeah, the newest game is now coming out at the end of June. It's kind of more of a strategy... Well, the original franchise was a strategy RPG kind of series where it was kind of set in like World War I setting, so you had more tanks and stuff like that to take into account instead of just magic. Dragons. And yeah, it was pretty good fun, although the fact that I saw a lot of fans going, oh yeah, this game still exists, doesn't give me great hope.
That's a great sort of endorsement, that is.
Yeah.
They're still bothering.
Oh,
nice,
man.
Good for them.
Yeah. But hey, if you're interested in that kind of JRPG franchise, then that is coming PS4, PS Vita, Xbox One, end of June. More accessible game is Telltale's Guardians of the Galaxy, which is set to premiere, I believe it's May 5th? May 5th over here in Europe, May 2nd in America, and the first episode will be coming to PS4, Xbox One, PC, iOS, and Android. Now, I have not played Telltale series in a long ass time, but I imagine this one will be like Tales from the Borderlands, right? It has to be, because it's a comedy, sci-fi thing.
I guess so. I guess it's I would say that's the most like anything else they've done would be that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm hoping for a little unique. I say I'm hoping. We've spoken about my feeling on Telltale games for a while and how they haven't changed in a while. And every time one release, I'm just kind of sigh.
I was gonna say, so are you actually open to buying this, or is it a case of you're gonna wait and see, or the whole season, or?
Well, generally, I would say I'm gonna wait and see. I will always wait with Telltale games for a price drop now because I haven't bought the last however many for full price because the season pass normally drops before episode 3's out.
I think what they do at the moment, it's Walking Dead season 3 and Batman, or did Batman finish?
I think Batman may have finished, but then
Okay.
I haven't. I basically, that's how basically lost with Telltale games. I got confused with which ones they actually had on the go at the same time. And before, I always kind of knew what they were doing. I was like, oh, this month's Tales, this month's Games of Thrones, stuff like that. And I've just completely.
It seems weird to me, like how quickly they kind of, I don't want to say fell out of favour, but like fell out of public, fell out of gaming consciousness. Because I remember
I
in
think
like
it's-
2015, I think it was, when Game of Thrones and Borderlands were going, and people were like, yeah, and then
I
the
think-
next year everyone just stopped talking about them.
that's what tipped it over the edge. I mean, Game of Thrones, I don't think was that well received. I think you
Right.
you just kind of appreciate if you're a Game of Thrones fan, which I was, and stuff like that. But yeah, it's basically it's kind of the same thing that happened with Assassin's Creed a little bit, because even though they're saying these are different games, they all feel like the same game. Like the story's different, don't get me wrong, and you got the branding of whatever shows on top, but you do feel like you're playing the same
Just with a different skin,
thing.
more than anything.
Yeah, so you get a bit bored and a bit sick of it. The only reason Tales of Borderlands was so popular because the script was so funny, and because it was so charming in that sense that it covered up the fact that you were playing another game of that nature.
Okay.
Whether Guardians of the Galaxy can do that, don't get me wrong, some great source material to
Gonna
work
say,
with.
Like, it should be entertaining.
But I just don't know how much you say, because I think the argument is, and which some people made, I kind of agree with the argument. I didn't make it, but so like with Batman and that, it's like how much can you really make it feel like your choice in Guardians of the Galaxy or a game like Batman, because you know as the superhero you're gonna win, or you're gonna, you're
Yeah,
always gonna come out.
like, there's only a
So-
certain way a Batman story can realistically
Yeah,
go.
exactly. And it's like, is this really the best choice format of games? I know you could argue that with the Walking Dead franchise, but then you don't know if that character's gonna. They could always swerve you in your character that your controller gets killed off. It's the Walking
Yeah.
Dead. It's open more in that way. So I don't know. I'm still gonna wait to see if this goes cheap. I'll see how reviews goes, and if it's a pleasant experience, I'll probably end up with it at some point in my future.
Well, there you go. And don't worry, if we've learned anything from Telltale Games, the season pass will be on sale in a month.
Yeah, I'll say a month-ish. If it does prove to be popular, they'll hold it out and it might make 2 months, but who knows?
Who knows? Probably episode 2 and then the sale. But moving on to another collection of games coming out also in June. The Wipeout Omega collection is coming to PlayStation 4. I don't think there's a specific day announced yet. Oh no, 7th of June it's coming out on PlayStation 4. So this is going to include all the tracks and content from Wipeout HD, Wipeout Fury, and Wipeout 2048, which I believe were previously on PS3 and PS Vita. So feel free to shout at me on Twitter if I've got that wrong. So it's going to introduce like a lot of different game modes as well as single player. You'll be able to race online. You'll be able to split screen, which is a surprising rarity in games these
Love
days.
how excited you sound for split screen.
Split screen gaming, man. It's surprisingly not as much there as it should be. They have said 1080p 60 frames per second, and they've also promised 4K 60 frames per second on PS4 Pro, which I'll believe when it happens. Did you ever play the Wipeout games at all?
I feel like I did, but I feel like I can't even remember them. That's how good of experience they were.
Brilliant.
Um,
It was Sony F. Well, I think Wipeout came first actually, but it was Sony F. No, can't have done because Wipeout was on SNES. Sony F-Zero, basically.
Yeah, I think I've dabbled maybe at someone else's house on them, which is
Yeah.
probably why I'm struggling to remember with them. But they were never really my thing.
I think my
I thought-
experience with them was they're kind of alright in like short bursts and they were like relatively fun, but it was never a game I could see myself going out of the way to buy necessarily.
Yeah, it's something I would have looked at if it had if I had like a $5 to spend and it was in the pre-owned and I had to get rid of this game credit or something. I think that sounds like a weird scenario, but it happened.
Someone was holding a gun to my head and I had to spend money.
I had to spend a $5 and I was like, what can I buy? Yeah, but I don't think it's a bad game series. I just don't think it's one of my personal favourites.
Yeah. They haven't announced the price yet, which will probably be the make it or break it thing, and I would guess 20, 25 quid I'd see for that, probably.
I'd go 20 is a good price point. I think that'd get people in.
Okay, well, hopefully that'll be cool, and as I say, that comes out at the start of June, so a few months for that. In less expensive and cool news, Final Fantasy XIV: A Realm Reborn has changed the way its free trial works now. So it's no longer. It used to be, it was a 14-day time restriction, like you play for 2 weeks and that's all you get. Now they've completely lifted that, and you can play up to level 35 without any kind of restriction or need to pay. And that is quite a lot of content, to be honest. Like, that takes you probably a good 2/3 into the main story, because by that point you'll be getting ready to fight the second major boss. So, and put it like this, there's only like 4 or so in total in the entire.
Okay, because I needed context. I was like,
oh no, sorry, yeah, no, second major. Sorry.
Oh.
No, as in like you don't fight the first major boss until like level 20, 25. So, yeah, that is quite a lot. And the thing is, because of the way Final Fantasy XIV works, where you can be one character can be anything. It's not like, oh, you can only have 35 levels combined across all of your classes. It's like, no, you can play all like 20 plus classes up to level 35, which is
That's ridiculously
yeah,
good.
that is really good.
Yeah, I'm quite impressed by that stat, to be honest. I thought you were going to go lower, and I was like, oh.
No. It's a yes, that is available. I think there's a couple of restrictions. Yeah, so they've put a couple of restrictions on some of the more later game stuff, like the deep dungeon is restricted to the first 10 levels, but you don't even ever really use that for leveling. So, but no, yeah, that is really, really cool. And as a Final Fantasy XIV fan, I highly recommend it. Especially now if you want to try it out before the new expansion Stormblood comes out in July. Sometime in the summer.
I love July.
July, it's my favourite month. Sometime in the summer.
love it. Why June? Why you lie to me, June? I'm on.
That was actually really good. I applaud you for
Thank
that.
you.
Have you played FF14? I think you've tried to get you to play it.
Oh, you.
No.
No, I haven't. I'm sorry. It's hard, like, when I have a limited time and limited money to get games, it's hard to get, even though it's cheap before you
Even
do
though
the
it's
system,
free.
yeah, free and all that, the time issue comes into it. It's still, I've got to play a Final Fantasy game, and I just have such bad vibes towards that series
Okay.
for me. So that's why it's hard to get me through the door on that one.
Okay.
But I will continue to try.
But yeah, if you have any interest at home, people, I highly recommend it. Another PC game, which is getting a remaster actually and coming out this summer, is StarCraft. StarCraft Remastered is a thing that's happening, which caused a lot of Blizzard fans to go absolutely ballistic. I believe it comes out, let's see, summer. That's all we got, summer. But yeah, it's essentially just a complete nice and shiny remake of the original, all glitches and everything from the old days intact, but with 4K visuals, online gameplay, LAN support using it's not Battle.net anymore, Blizzard Friends matchmaking, I don't know. They renamed it to something
Friends.
It used to be Battle.net and now it's not Battle.net, and I don't know why it's not Battle.net.
I still think of it as Battle.net. So.
Everyone thinks of it as Battle.net, that's what it is. But yeah, this is great news. Most importantly of all, I imagine, for like the streaming scene, because I think StarCraft 2 was like declining as time's been going on, but StarCraft 1's kind of held steady. So this will probably give it a good boost in the competitive and sports scene. I
mean, anything to help it.
I'm assuming you didn't play StarCraft.
Once again, that's a safe assumption. Actually, hang on. Hang on.
Have I been made a fool of?
Oh, I think I did. Oh shit, it was against my will.
Against your will?
Oh god, this week's lot of news topics are games I played at other people's houses that I didn't really want to. Yeah, I think I did try StarCraft for a brief period.
Cool. Well, in that case, you might really be interested in this as well, because so the remaster is going to include the original and its expansion, Brood War. But if you
sell this one, yeah.
But yeah, if you owned the original StarCraft and Brood War, you get this for free. You do not have to pay a single cent if you can somehow find your CD code for that whole game.
That seems I'm a bit. You have to be a bit of a hoarder to still have access, like know where that is.
Maybe it's not like. I'm assuming it will need the CD code or something. Basically, I assume you'd need it registered to your Battle.net account. Basically, it's proof of purchase. But I mean, I think that's really cool for people who actually did buy it back then. Yeah.
Yeah, it is a really nice thing. It's just.
Well, I mean, it's not like you'll have thrown the box away because you needed it for the CD.
Yes.
Remember when games were on CDs?
I don't understand this concept anymore. How old is this?
Before there was
How old are we?
Before there was a Steam.
I don't want to live in that world.
Well, if you're interested in freebies, moving on from StarCraft, we also have all the new PS Plus and Games with Gold announcements for the month of April. So I'll start with Games with Gold, your domain, Laura, with your Xbox One. Shakes fist. So the big one, the showcase game for Xbox Games with Gold this month, is Rise, Son of Rome, which will be available on the service from April 1st to April 31st. Correct me if I'm wrong, this is like an action slashing game, yes?
Basically, if you like to kill things with your hack and slash ways.
It's God of War but in Roman times.
If I remember rightly, someone told me this was hard. I don't know if it was this game in the series. I remember someone telling me, oh, it's deceptively hard, so it might be a challenge if you want to play it.
Might be.
It might be. I genuinely get so confused with the Rise games because I thought there was only one, but apparently there isn't. I just don't know anymore.
Wow, that's news to me. I thought it was just a single game as well.
Yeah, I think it might be because there might be DLC. I don't know. I swear someone told me there was more than one, but then it might be the other one hasn't come out yet.
Maybe.
Who knows? So I have a friend that basically likes them, and I just don't listen.
Another game coming out from April 1st to April 15th, you'll be able to get the original Darksiders, which I assume is 360 backwards compatibility for that one.
Yeah.
I remember Darksiders 2 got a lot of praise as it's like Zelda, but not.
And I remember going, that's not praise.
Wow. But the point was, like, that game got all the attention. I don't remember anyone ever talked about the original.
No, to be fair, I always used to get Darksiders confused with Dark Souls, which is like a sin. Because they're nothing alike. That's basically how I was like very confused at the games with similar names.
Well, a game at least you will not be confused about is Assassin's Creed Revelations, which is the other 360 backwards compatible game, and that's on the service from April 16th to April 31st. That's the final part of the Assassin's Creed 2 trilogy, right?
I don't know, Slazo. I get confused.
You've played this series, Laura.
Right, and what did I say earlier? When we talk about they all blur into one. Basically, I remember that we was in the Civil War in number 3. I was on a boat in Black Flag. I'm actually Googling this.
What you've done is you've looked at the box and you've gone, yes, I remember that.
I played Assassin's Creed Revelations. Yeah, I did.
Well, this is an Assassin's Creed 2 game, yeah? The third Assassin's Creed 2.
It's the fourth major installment in the game, a direct sequel to Brotherhood.
Yeah.
And the third and final chapter in the Ezio trilogy.
Yes. There you go.
Right.
It worries me I know more about this than you.
Yeah, well, it feels like 2011. I swear there's... How many games of Assassin's Creed has there been there since 2011?
But this is probably the franchise at its... I don't want to say at its peak. I think it was coming off its peak at this point. But like this was still when it was a must-have every year.
Yeah, because to be fair, that was finishing the main Ezio story, so it was kind of like, yay.
Yeah. Like, I remember the Ezio stuff was kind of the high point of that series, so...
Ezio is fun to say. No other reason.
And then the other game, funnily enough, we talked about Telltale earlier, from April 16th to May 15th, you can get the entirety of the second season of The Walking Dead. I really hope the first season's been on the service before. I think it has, right?
Yeah, it has.
Okay, so we're safe. We're safe.
Yeah. I remember the episode 1 used to be free on Xbox 360, and I assume since then they've done it and stuff. I mean, season 2 was on PS Plus without season 1 being on there.
Oh, true, it was, yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Basically trying to get you back in so you go and buy season 3. Cool. Yeah, I'm alright.
Well, there you go. So that's the Games with Gold that's coming out across the month of April. Of course, there's also if my computer doesn't shut the tab, there's also PlayStation Plus. So there's 6 games coming to the PS Plus service this month. It'll be going live on yesterday until... Ooh, where's my May calendar? From yesterday until the 2nd of May, I think. But yeah, so there's Drawn to Death is kind of the headline one, which they announced a little while back, which is kind of like a pencil art action game, I believe. I don't know if you've seen it in action. It kind of has like a really cool, distinct art style, which is. I always
love it. That's always something a buzz term for PS Plus games. The
I
cool
guess,
art styles
but
always
like,
end up.
I haven't really seen like one like this before. I don't want to say it's like a line art. It's like if you had like an animation outlining kind of thing, but come to life, and they've used colours and stuff as well. So, and it's in 3D.
Cool.
So yeah, I want to give it a try purely just to see how it actually, like, whether the art style works in motion, because I think that is an interesting idea. And it's also apparently from the guy who makes Twisted Metal. Not that I've played Twisted Metal, so who knows. And that will be launching first on PlayStation Plus, which is probably why I saw it get announced earlier. There's also Lovers in a Dangerous Space Time, which is a co-op space shooter, if I remember. Oh,
yeah,
hello.
yeah, I know this game. I remember it getting announced because it looks so groovy. Sorry, I sounded so excited.
Yeah.
No, I don't have PS Plus. Frick!
It's been out for years, so you can just buy it.
Still.
Less interested now.
I remember when it came out. I was
That's
very
a
excited.
fun, bright and colourful cooperative space shooter game. Yeah, I've not played it before.
Fun.
Yeah, I've not played it before, but I've seen it in action. So, good game. Good game. PlayStation Vita will be getting 10-second Ninja X. I have no idea what 10-second Ninja X is, so don't mind me 1 second. Thank you. I didn't mean Naruto, Google. You're so helpful. Did you? Did you really?
Yes.
I'm going to assume this is nothing like the Half-Minute Hero, which is all that comes to my mind as we talk about
I
this.
have never heard of this game series. I feel
It looks like a platformer.
Nothing.
There you are. You're a ninja, there are robots. You've got 10 seconds to destroy them all. So there you go.
I'm not going to lie to you. I wish I knew more now. Ninjas and robots. I'm totally.
So basically, it's an action platformer where you have 10 seconds to kill the enemies and make it to the end.
And there's ninjas and robots. Are we not underestimating this? Ninjas and robots.
I'm glad I've sold you on it.
I just want ninjas and robots in my life. That's all I want.
Well, the other PlayStation Vita game is called Curses and Chaos. Yeah, I'm looking this up now. Fight or die. Cursed by the evil Wizard King, bounty hunters Leah and Leo are chased by every monster in the kingdom and the Grim Reaper himself. There's only one way to get rid of the curse, the legendary elixir of life. But how to get the ingredients? Fight monsters. I'm looking at this and it looks like a retro art 2D action indie game, of which I've seen about 20 billion of. So, yay. I'm sorry to not be more excited for that, but yeah, it looks like PS Plus fodder. It's the nicest way of putting it. PlayStation 3 owners will be getting Alien Rage. That's not part of the Alien franchise, is it?
Once again, I have never heard of this. Let's assume not, but it could always be.
It could always be. Let's have a look. Alien Rage is a science fiction first-person shooter video game which came out on multiple platforms. La 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 la.
Yay!
It's a first-person shooter in which players fight through several linear levels, killing a variety of aliens. Every few levels, you fight a boss. There you go, kids. It's a shooty game. Shooty bang, bang shoot.
I like shooty bang bang.
And then there's also Invisibles: The Lost Kingdom for PS3 as well. I've never played an Invisibles game. Have you, Laura?
Nope.
Great.
No clue.
So I'm gonna be optimistic and make a guess before I Google this and say it's kind of like Viva Pinata, right? Question mark.
I didn't think there was anything like Viva Pinata.
Look, alright, this is me you're trusting here. That's entirely wrong. Let's have a look. Explore the world of the Invisibles as the series comes to PS3 in a third-person action adventure. You play Hero, a young explorer who discovers a magical portal that teleports you to the Lost Kingdom and land under attack from a cruel, rampaging robot army.
This isn't like Viva Pinata at all.
I've horribly lied to you. I'm afraid it's also only got 50% on Metacritic, so maybe not that great a game. It's an alright 3D platformer. So there you go. If you want an alright 3D platformer, Invisibles. And that is your PS Plus lineup, which also means that is the news for this week. So let's move on into releases. So these are covering the 1st of April to the 7th of April, and the first one we'll talk about is the big one, the granddaddy of JRPGs, coming out Persona 5 for PlayStation 3 and PlayStation
Never heard of it.
4. Nah, mate. What's that game that's reviewing? It's like second to Zelda on Metacritic for the year at the moment. It is. Oh, I've waited for this game for so many years. I'm so happy. I couldn't tell you jack about the plot because I've deliberately been avoiding that for forever, so I don't get spoiled. But it feels so weird. It's finally happening. Like, this game was originally scheduled for 2013, then 2014, then 2015, then Valentine's Day this year, and now finally.
I remember when it was going to come out on Valentine's Day.
That was the perfect game. Yeah,
it was going to be such a cool promotion. It was such a cool link. I was really impressed, and then it didn't happen.
I was so down for a Valentine's Day Persona.
It's
date night with Persona.
No, I just love the idea. Why are you so sad on Valentine's Day? Persona 5 hasn't come out.
I got dumped by a video game. Do you have any intention of buying this? I'm assuming you don't.
Not on launch. I really wish I was better at Persona 4 and I could get through it and I could enjoy it more, because I genuinely believe you and I believe all the reviewers that say it's great, but I just feel I haven't. I can't go on to 5 without
you tried
4.
Persona 4. You didn't really get that into it. It's fine.
No, I'm sorry.
Don't worry about it. Of course, there are also other releases that aren't Persona 5, so let's go through those. There's Armor Gallant, Decks of Destiny for PlayStation 4. I did not able to find out much about this game, but by the looks of it, it's a card-based combat game where you make a deck of monsters and fight other people's decks of monsters. Yeah, I didn't even know this existed before today. So,
I mean, I feel happy for it.
Yep, so
I don't know what else to say about that. It just feels very... It's coming out.
It's retail as well, which is why I'm like, how do I know?
Retail? Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
But it's only 20 quid, so there you go.
Okay, well, that's good for them.
Yep. There's also Bulletstorm Full Clip Edition, which comes
Right,
out...
this!
Oh, okay.
I forgot was happening again. I know, like, it was announced, and I remember thinking, oh yeah, they're remaking it, and then I saw that with this, don't you get Duke Nukem beta or something you get with it that's Duke Nukem related, and I was kind of like, oh, cool. I remember, all it made me think of was, I remember when I bought Bulletstorm solely to get in, I want to say the Halo beta. It could have been Gears.
Wait, was that Bulletstorm?
Bulletstorm was the game I bought to get in a beta. It could have been the Gears beta.
I think it was Gears. Crackdown was Halo, right? It was Crackdown for Halo.
Oh yeah, Crackdown was Halo. Yeah, basically I bought Bulletstorm to get into the Gears beta.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gears of War 3 beta.
Let's have a look. Includes Duke Nukem's Bulletstorm tour. There you go. That's what.
Yeah, and I remember thinking, oh, cool. I love how Bulletstorm's been re-released, and still people might just buy it to get into a beta or some other freebie that comes with it, not the game. I love that. I love it.
It's a shame because it was quite a. I didn't play it, but it seemed like a fun
I played a lot of it actually. I'm not gonna lie. I'm really bad. I shouldn't be slagging it off. I played loads of it. It was fun. It didn't have a lot to it, which is where it hit a wall.
Right.
But what it was still. If you had someone to play it with, at times it was really fun to play, and it has the whole Gears, because it was done by Epic, wasn't it, or someone, or it was done.
Yeah, it's Epic.
Yeah. Basically, I remember being like, "Oh, cool! It's a different little. It's fun because I like Gears and I like to shoot things." And yeah. But to be fair, I still think it's one of the weirdest re-releases ever, because I didn't know there was any
demand for it.
Yeah, I remember it being really, really cheap in stores and bargain bins. So the only reason I can see that it's redoing it because they're really confident to justify having a number 2. Like, after all these years, they want to make a second one and they just want to try and justify it. But then this has gone so under the radar again. I'm like, is it?
I don't know. I guess we'll see. But yeah, it's coming out at an interesting time, so I don't know how it'll do. But speaking of game, that's coming to PS4, Xbox One, PC, by the way. Speaking of games that Laura has played, Lego City Undercover comes to PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch.
You lucky people. You lucky people. I love this game on Wii U. Literally, the other day, when I was playing Mario Kart, I was like, oh, Mario Kart kind of justified my Wii U purchase. And I was like, no, hang on. I looked at my shelf and I was like, I completely forgot about the joy I had on Lego City Underground. Undercover even. Ooh, just renamed it.
This was
Undercover.
This was one of the Wii U games I regretted not being able to pick up when it came out, because this got surprisingly great reviews to me. Like,
it uses the Wii U remote and makes everything worthwhile on the Wii U remote. This is why I'm very, very interested to see what happens in the reviews and stuff on this, because I really want to know if it's still as interesting on the other consoles. Because to me, without the Wii U remote's unique features, it's just going to be like average at best. Like, it's not going to be the same experience. So I'm very intrigued.
Okay. Yeah, it should be interesting. But as I say, I'm just happy more people actually get to play it out, considering how well it did. And it
Yes, play it.
came out in that brief window where the Wii U looked to be a big new thing, and then
The same thing. I remember when it was big. Oh, those were the days.
And talking of things that were meant to be the next big thing, Yokai Watch 2, Bony Spirits, and Yokai Watch 2, Fleshy Souls are coming to Nintendo 3DS as well. Oh, Yokai Watch, like, it took Japan by storm, and it feels like it came out over here as the craze was ending. So, like, it's a fun RPG, which is a bit maybe a bit too easy and child friendly at the times, because
It's meant to be the introductory for the Pokemon for children. That sounds wrong because I know Pokemon can be for kids.
that's the thing though. Like, Pokemon, it's simple. Don't get me wrong, but there's still levels to it. Whereas Yokai felt a bit too dumbed down for my liking. Like, you spin a roulette, you do some wiggly things with the stylus. There you go. Yeah, like, I like the idea and the concept of it, like the whole spirits possessing people, and they have some really great designs in the games, and I'm sure this will do perfectly fine. Like, I'm not slagging off Yokai Watch, but it never really seemed to ever become like half as big here as it did over in Japan. Like, in Japan, for 3 years, it was the craze.
I mean, did the TV show pick up as much here? Because I don't really hear much about the TV show here either.
I don't know. Like,
I don't know, because it's like a big thing in the whole.
as someone who doesn't have access to a Skybox on a regular basis, I'm not sure.
I never see it on like Disney. I know it's on there somewhere. I've just never really noticed it on.
To be fair, all I know of Chauncey Collins at the moment is it's Teen Titans Go dominates everything, because
Really?
yeah,
I love Teen Titans.
I'm not even going to get started on that argument.
I'm joking. I don't like Teen Titans.
That
I
wasn't
think
the
it's.
argument. That was fine.
Oh, cool. I'm fine. I don't know where I'm going. I was about to talk about cartoons. I don't want to.
This isn't the Anicon podcast.
Yeah, this did catch on. They might catch on now. I mean, they got. Is there still another? Are they still behind Japan on the releases?
I mean, as far as I'm aware, there's definitely a Yokai Watch 3. I'm genuinely not sure how many games came out after that, because again, as I felt it was coming off. Let's have a look. No, there's just 3 main games, and then a whole bunch of spin-offs and smartphone apps back when I had to write pieces for the website about yokai dance stupid thing. I remember having to write these things. But yeah, so yeah, if you want an RPG fix for your Nintendo 3DS, Yokai Watch 2, both versions coming out as well. And that brings an end to the releases, which brings us neatly into plugs. Laura.
Yeah.
No.
What?
Any plugs? Anything? What's happening? Anything happening in the world of Laura we can expect from the next week?
Nothing on retro. I don't know. If Mario Kart was easy to record, you'd have a lot of Mario Kart and a lot of high town jinx on that. But no, at the moment, I don't even know what that's a new phrase I'm using. But no, not at the moment. But I will be doing stuff soon. It will soon that you'll be flooded with content from me. But at the moment, I'm just enjoying watching your content, Slazo.
Oh, thank you, Laura. Thank you. I hate you. Thank you. So yeah, the newest episode of Saturday Morning Switch should be live. I say should be, assuming I've not replaced it with an April Fool's joke or something. But yeah, so this week's episode looks, now that the system is a month old, we have a look at everything that's come out in the first month. Like, for example, the surprising amount of Neo Geo games you can buy on the eShop. Like, It's like Virtual Console, but not really. There's like 2 King of Fighters, there's Metal Slug, the golf game, I can't remember the name of's on there.
Golf game?
Like, it's as golf games go, it's,
about.
Turf Golf Masters, or whatever it was called, yeah. Like, surprising amount on the eShop, kind of some cool stuff on there. And obviously exclusives like Snipper Clips and Fast RMX. So yeah, this week's video has a look at all of those. And also, I'm not sure when it will be going live, hopefully sometime in April. There's going to be a video showcasing our top 50 now that it is finalised. So,
what?
yeah, woo woo. Now that it's not on, we don't have a website to show it anymore, so there'll be a video going up which goes through them. They won't be ranked or anything, it'll just be here are 50 games we think are cool. But yeah, if you're wondering what 50 games we recommend as like the 50 great games that you should all definitely play, stay tuned to the YouTube for that. And then
I can't wait for.
I have no idea if Squiggy's doing anything. I saw recently he's done a Mass Effect Andromeda playthrough, so...
Well, he's a little tied up in Orlando, so I'm pretty sure he has got a lot of Mass Effect stuff coming, and he is getting the full game when he returns from Orlando, so be sure to tune to him for more Mass Effect stuff. But there is a little 2-week window of holiday from your Squig.
Yep. We love you, man. Come back soon. Please come back soon. I'm a terrible host. So...
Nice.
And on that ringing endorsement, let's move on then to the topic of the week. So, with the recent release of Mass Effect Andromeda and the recent release of Persona 5, I thought this would be a good time to kind of look at the whole Western RPGs and Japanese RPGs and how we the two have played off, because as it turns out, I've very much fallen into the JRPG side of things and Laura's very much fallen into the WRPG side of things. So we're just going to have a little talk about why we play, what our favourites are, and any kind of exceptions to the rule. So basically kind of what we look for in RPGs and why that ended up with us both being attracted to different ones. So, have you played Mass Effect Andromeda yet, outside the demo?
Yeah, I did. Well, it's not a demo, it's like EA Access.
Outside of the Access trial, I don't know.
I'm not buying it. I was not impressed.
Oh, wow, okay.
I will eventually get it, don't lie. I'm just not paying full price for it. It just managed to kill my hype.
Okay. But, it's fair to say, because you've played stuff like Mass Effect, I think you've played
Dragon Age, Inquisition, all the Dragon Ages.
So what is it, would you say, that kind of attracted you to those games originally? Like, why? Why when you walk into a shop and you're like, what game should I play? Oh man, these games look pretty cool. What was it that kind of initially got you interested in that?
Initially,
yes.
I'm not gonna lie, it's always the dialogue choice and the potential to make your own journey in a game.
Okay.
Is what got me to play them. That's basically all it came down to. I love games where you have options and you have a unique experience, and that's what those games are advertised as. So that's how I ended up in Mass Effect and Dragon Age.
Okay, that's interesting, because me personally, I've always preferred a more kind of
linear.
I'm not sure if linear is like a pre-written, I suppose is the way I'd think, scripted, I suppose. There you go.
Okay.
Like, I feel you can do more with kind of characters and expectations and storytelling if you're not kind of having to account for the fact that your character could be one of 109 different things.
I agree with that. I mean, that's definitely a case you could make. But if done well, which Dragon Age Inquisition is probably a shining example, it's easy to work around and still feel like an experience. Like, at the end of the day, there might be a little use your imagination here and there bits, more so in the older ones. You know what I mean? Like, you just go with it. But I still feel, I don't know, I still prefer, even if it's, I don't truly, like Mass Effect 3, in the end, you truly didn't feel like you, resulted, the end game, the ending of it, obviously it's highly publicised, but you obviously don't feel satisfied with that experience. But then at the end of the day, you up until that point, it did deliver. You just want the illusion that you're having choice sometimes. I know that sounds really thing that I enjoy being tricked, but just the feeling that you can change things is sometimes enough.
Okay.
And there are definitely games that give you that. I know that sounds really naive and stuff, because obviously a thing, but up until the fact they had to deliver the ending, you weren't really getting that much freedom on your stuff, but Jeff definitely felt like you were. You definitely felt like you were making decisions that would make going somewhere.
It was like you felt everything you did mattered. Whereas,
so it makes you think about stuff.
whereas
It
in a
makes you
JRPG,
think-
more it can sometimes feel that you're a bit hopeless and you're not.
Yeah, you're basically on a roller coaster heading to the end point that they want you to have.
Okay.
But yeah, there's stuff like, you just tend to think of things about more. It makes the dialogue interesting because I'm like, oh, better pay attention. If this guy might be important later and I don't want to upset him.
Okay.
Or stuff like that. I just it sucks you in a bit more. That's what I like about it.
Okay. I suppose the other, like, in terms of storytelling, the other thing is that I've always found, like, certainly when I was growing up, for example, it was like reading comics, and it was like, oh, do you like superheroes? Because that's all you're gonna get. And that's kind of why I slowly divulged into Japanese stuff, where it was like, no, these are teenagers doing things, and I found that more relatable as a teenager doing things. And, like, I feel that kind of transfers into games as well. Like, it feels to me a lot of Western RPGs are all very, like, dead set locked into a couple of tropes, like, here's medieval fantasy because everyone loved knights and armour and dragons.
And it's such a popular thing to do and make it your own.
Yeah. Whereas, I don't want to say, like, there's a massive variation in JRPGs, because don't get me wrong, there's only so many times I can see a skimpily dressed girl and think, haha, why? But I feel like there's a lot more, like, when you go look more broader scope on WRPGs, JRPGs, there's more variety in, like, Western stuff, like, thanks to stuff like Shin Megami Tensei, where you have, oh boy, here's a cannibal. And then you have Skies of Arcadia, which is like, here's some pirate ships in combat battling in the sky. And then I go to Western RPGs and it's like, he has a gun. Ooh,
yeah.
Amazing. Truly. Like, I didn't, like, does that seem vice versa to you? Like, do all JRPG plots seem the same? Just a bunch of kids running around?
From the outside looking in, they all feel whiny and they feel very
that's fair. That's very fair.
I don't know what it is. It's something about them comes across as whiny.
Like, a lot of them are portrayed as just teenagers going, wow.
Yeah, teenage
my
angst.
life. Yeah.
And like you see one high school drama or one high school movie, that's what you feel like with the JRPG characters. You played one game, you're gonna see the same characters repeat, and they're just not lovable characters. They're just there.
They're just emo bastards.
Yeah, but in terms of yeah, that might be what it is. It might be I just can't invest in that sort of story for that long. That might be a fair shout.
Okay, fair enough. So I think, like, another thing that's always stood out to me as, like, a big difference is the battle. So I mentioned before.
Yeah. This is probably the big game changer for me, and this is why we're not gonna.
This is why we'll never end up agreeing, because
Yeah,
I will wear this on my sleeve. I love turn-based battles. To me, turn-based is the absolute pinnacle because it allows you to plan your strategies out. You can react accordingly. You're not under stupid pressure, so you don't lose a battle just because you took 2 seconds to find something in a menu. Whereas in a WRPG, it's more, this is more better for me if I just hold a button and attack people, like.
Yeah, it's more accessible. I'm not the best gamer, like, skill-wise, and sometimes JRPGs, I would say, are the more complicated of the two. If I had to, like, pick, and it's, I don't know, they're more intimidating. I've got to learn more stuff. I've got to learn stuff when I play a JRPG.
Yeah, okay, I understand, like, you have to learn stuff, and I understand some JRPGs have ridiculously complex systems, like, don't get me started on.
For no reason. If there was a reason why they were more complex, like I was getting a better, more detailed experience, I'd be happy. But some of them just seem to be like, lol, look at us and our fancy system, peasant. Sorry. I feel intimidated.
No, I'm with you. Sometimes, like, it goes beyond depth and into, there's like 50 systems, I can't comprehend this many, I'm just going to stick with these two that I get. But I feel like JRPGs more, at least to me, have those systems in them, whereas a Western RPG, like, say Fallout, for example, you can run up and shoot someone, or you can pause time and shoot someone. It's like, great, such depth, truly. Like, what is it about Western RPG combat that you actually...
Well, the fact it's normally basic, and sometimes a lot of them incorporate other game styles, like a first-person shooter sort of thing.
Right.
Like, it adds in elements that I've played of other games that I'm more familiar with, and it's not just like, I don't know, it's not... It doesn't feel like I need an instruction manual for the first few hours. Everything feels natural and easy, and like, if I've played another sort of game, not an Western RPG, chances are I'm going to feel familiar and at home when I play them, because it incorporates control systems from I want to say more accessible, but I don't want to really piss off your JRPGs.
No, that's
But more
perfect. Some
accessible
JRPGs are totally inaccessible. Like, I think an example I have is Golden Sun has the Jin system, which are essentially your summons. And in theory, that should be fairly simple. Summon X, do thing. Except you can equip them to change your stats and your class, and then when they're inactive, you can do. It's just. It took me 2/3 of that game to like actually comprehend that system, because it was just so much.
I'm not gonna lie to you. When you said gin system, I feel like that system would be how much gin do you need to play to get through this bloody game? That's where I thought you were going with that. The gin system, where every time you do something, you have to take a shot of gin, or what? You don't do shots of gin. Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Don't do that. It's not a really shot-based drink. Why am I know this? Don't ask me. I'm not the alcohol expert. But basically, that's what I thought you were gonna say, because that's how I feel when I play. Like, you would need something like that to get through.
Wow.
But,
so how would?
Yeah.
So in your mind, then, how could JRPGs improve? What is it that would attract you to a JRPG?
I think basically the right plot. If you show me a trailer and the plot looked really intriguing, whether I had decisions or not, whether it was linear scripted as you say or whatever, the right plot could get me in. You know what I mean? If it come across, like I said, if it didn't come across like a typical teenage angst, seen this all before.
You know what the crazy thing is? I'd
One,
say exactly the same thing for I'd say exactly the same thing for WRPGs. Like, plot is the main thing that puts you off.
Yeah. I think an RPG, to be fair, Western or Japanese RPGs, their main strength, and it will forever be their main appeal and strength, are storyline and plot.
Yeah.
Like, you want a good game, don't get me wrong, but this is why Mass Effect Andromeda come across, because the plot doesn't seem as strong, the characters don't seem as well developed. I want a fantastically written game. I want to be so enticed. I want to feel transformed into that world. I want to care. I want to basically put it down. I want to play like 5 hours of it, maybe more, because I have no limits. Right? I know, right? Thanks for agreeing with me, background noise. Right? I want to play 5 hours, put it down, and then in my head ticking over about the scenarios, the story's going, and want to know what's happened next, and put another like so many hours because I want to know more.
Yeah.
I want it to grab me, and if a JRPG looked like it had an amazing plot, I'd probably, even if the gameplay system. This is how I've ended up playing some JRPGs and just not finishing them. The plot looks. I would even try ones. I'm like, this control system is uncomfortable, unnatural, and I have no idea what I'm doing. But I want to know what's happening, so I'm going to continue playing it. That would be enough for me.
Yeah.
If I'm honest.
No, I'm with you there. Like, story engagement is an important thing. Like, I have started tons of RPGs, both Western and Japanese, and not gotten into them anywhere beyond like the first 5 hours, because after that initial first play session I put the game down, walk away, and the next time I switch up the console I'm like, do you want to continue? Yeah. So no, I'm with you there. Like, it needs to be something that engages with you, it needs to be something that holds your interest, and it needs to be something that still has that appeal when I switch it off and walk away and go to sleep for a night or something. It needs to be something where I wake up in the morning and go, no, I need to know what happens next, or I want to find out go on.
You find yourself theorizing. Theorizing, that's not the right word, but yeah, you'll think, oh, I wonder what's going to happen to that character, and you have this scenario that, oh, I think he might get killed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You want to have that sort of buzz of like, I'm
with you completely. Like, Persona 4 Golden, my favourite JRPG. Like, I know you didn't get massively far into it, but like one of the long appealing.
It's not my fault.
No, it's perfectly fine. But at the core of it, there's like a whodunit going on, and I know some people think it's obvious, but I kept being misled by it. It took me a while to figure out who was behind it, and that was kind of a really good core thing behind it, because there's this mystery behind it all that you can think about when you put the console down, and like when you get towards the end, it actively comes like to progress in the game. You have to correctly guess who it is, and that was just a really cool thing. That I could put the console down then and think. Go on.
That's it. Probably that's how you sold me on getting Persona and why I own it. And then it's an amazing game.
Anime Scooby-Doo.
But then the combat system is what held me back. And if I was just that more inclined to be better at it, then I literally feel I would love it.
Right.
Like, I can't even play it. It's just not the combat system for me.
No, that's fine.
And I feel again, but I've got 120 hours.
Some people prefer action. Some people prefer turn-based.
Yeah.
Like
Let's see. Yeah, turn-based. I always. See, when people ask me why I don't like Final Fantasy, I look at the turn-based memories of it, and like I just don't
Even
like
though-
turn-based.
Even though
There's a couple that
there's quite a few
I know
that aren't.
but basically my first experiences with the series were you know what I mean.
Try
with
it
the
15. Try it 15.
Oh, stop trying to sell me on it.
There's a demo for it. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, but you know what I mean. Them sort of turn-based games, I just get so bored. It might be because I played them as a child and I was just very impatient and I just wanted to like kill things. But it might be better now. I don't know. Probably not. Probably still impatient. But it's that sort of thing that puts me off. But then if the story's good, I kind of look the other way and like I don't even care.
Fair enough. So to kind of close off this topic of the week then, because we've kind of both now gone in depth on what we like and don't like about them.
Basically, we're not going to change, guys.
We're not going to change, but I feel it would be nice then to wrap this off, like each of us gave a couple of recommendations from our respective genres. So if someone came up to you and said, Laura, recommend me a few try that again. Recommend me. No. Laura would be like Pokemon. But yeah, if we were going to recommend someone a few Western RPGs, what would you recommend to someone?
That's kind of interesting. I'm a big BioWare fan, despite Mass Effect Andromeda, which is hurting my heart. So I would recommend Mass Effect 1 to 3, because that is definitely something I fell in love with. I 100% recommend the Dragon Age series, and in particular point out Dragon Age Inquisition, because let's be honest, that game is near perfection.
Okay.
Especially the DLC. I'm trying to think of anything else I would recommend, because I'm not really a Fallout fan. And I'm trying to think of anything Western RPGs that are a bit... Oh, I don't... see, that's BioWare. I'm trying to think of something that's not BioWare. Just basically, I like BioWare.
What about Bethesda?
Switcher free? That's why I was looking at Bethesda. I mean, Skyrim's alright. I just only did 15 minutes of it. I'm maybe not the person to ask. What I played of it was good, and with it being re-released, it is something I actually want to pick up. You know, we spoke about why Bullet Storm being re-released earlier.
Yeah.
I get Skyrim is being re-released and remastered. It's a great game full of hours, so I probably will pick that up. And also, I guess Witcher 3, isn't it? I feel
Witcher
like I should recommend.
Like,
Yeah.
I need to give that game another go. Like,
I know.
The game doesn't do a good job of teaching you combat, so I kind of went, but I should probably give that another go.
Big issue with JRPGs that game has, and I know once I get past it, I'd be good. It'd be like great, but I'm like a few hours into it, and I kind of had to stop, and then I've forgotten basically what I'm doing. I'm not very good now, but yeah, there's that.
Okay.
But they're the ones I think. I know they're very obvious choices, but
That's perfectly fine. So I'm trying to think. I guess that means I should do JRPGs. So let's see. So the obvious one, like, I'm not going to recommend Persona 5 because that's only just come out, and who knows how that'll hold up.
to be honest though, he's recommending.
No, I'm recommending Persona 4 Golden. Like, yes, you have to have a Vita to play it, but it is the standout game on the Vita. It was a JRPG that kind of really renewed my faith in the not franchise as much, but more the genre. Like, I felt, how much can you actually really do with JRPGs? And it was thanks to Persona 4 Golden I actually started exploring a lot more, kind of in the series, because I'd never really played anything like it. It's anime Scooby-Doo. It's got a really simple but fun combat system. The characters are all pretty dang likeable. Like, fucking Teddy, man. Teddy's amazing.
I like Teddy in the brief bit I played. If I was going to name a favourite, I was like, I'm already sold on Teddy.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, he's no Monokuma. I prefer my bears more murderous.
Your despair.
I prefer my bears filled with despair and murder. But he's a close second.
Okay, that's cool. I'm trying to think what else I'd recommend. Ooh, off the top
Do
of
you
my head.
recommend Crash 64? Because I've just googled this, which is Holy Magic Century, to realise that's the only JRPG I've ever truly loved.
What, 94?
Quest 64. It's in Europe it was called Holy Magic Century.
I've never played that.
My god, I've literally had to Google it and found out it's like a very niche JRPG, and I'm like, oh my god, I loved this as a child. That's what I was Googling while you were talking.
No, I don't.
I'm going to introduce you to this. It has really average and terrible reviews, so maybe not recommend you go.
Not.
But it was highly praised for graphics. Anyway, continue with your JRPGs.
Thank you. Yes.
If anyone else knows to like Quest 64, tweet me.
I suppose another one which is incredibly obvious, but if in case like people haven't actually played it for some bizarre reason, Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver.
Oh yes, that's JRPG we could all get on board with.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Like, like over the years I've found other fun Pokemon games, but there's no denying that Gen 2 is the one that everyone adores and everyone puts up there as one of the best. So
And also a G series with accessible combat.
yes. Saying. Yeah, no, it's accessible combat, it's nice and fun. There's a lot of content in Gold and Silver because of the 2 regions, whole thing. And Heart Gold and Soul Silver have no like hardware restrictions or anything to hold them back. So they, for example, the Safari Zone's there at full strength. There's a lot to do in those games. So if you want like a complete Pokemon experience, Heart Gold and Soul Silver are the ones to go to. If you want a better narrative Pokemon experience, try Black and White, because they're the only ones where they've actually gone full in on the story and it's worked. I suppose another one, you'll notice a lot of these are handheld games because JRPGs tend to work better on the handhelds. So I suppose one other one that has come out on handhelds recently is Dragon Quest VIII is now available for Nintendo 3DS. I think if you like more old school JRPG kind of stuff, Dragon Quest VIII is probably the best example of it. Like, it's 3D and all that, but it has a lot of old school sensibilities in like the way it's designed, the way it's paced. The battle is very like traditional turn-based stuff instead of action combat, which the kind of genre had been moving towards at that time. And yeah, it's probably the best of the Dragon Quest games. I'd go on record of saying it's the best Square Enix game, full stop. I know some people will give me hate for that.
That is literally go get him, boys.
That's me dead. But yeah, it was what, so like I think it was the first, like not including outside of Pokemon and Final Fantasy, it was the first one of those outside of those JRPG I played, and I just fell in love, and that was where I started exploring things. And then Persona 4 is where I started really exploring things. But yeah, so yeah, if you want some cool JRPGs to play, pick yourself up a 3DS. It's probably your best bet, or a Vita, and have at, because there's tons of great things on the handhelds. They are slowly but surely getting ported to Steam as well, so if you want to like actually keep an eye. A lot of like the Vita JRPGs are coming on Steam now. Like for example, you can buy all of Hyperdimensional Neptunia. Don't buy Hyperdimensional Neptunia. And there's Atelier on there as well, and some of those are good games. But this is me going to obscure stuff that isn't as good as the stuff I said. So the point is, like, JRPGs are cropping up everywhere now, so it's well worth checking some out. But handhelds are the best place to go. And I believe, unless there's anything you want to say in response to any of that?
No, I mean, I feel you've done a lot of games. I mean, the fact that I even like some of your RPG suggestions is a good sign.
Yep. And I mean, I've played most of the WRPGs you've suggested. Well, so there you go. You can tell they're good because they're the ones we actually went out of our way to try in the opposition franchise.
Opposition. This was really like, guys, I don't like your game. I don't like your games either. But let's try and get along for the sake of the children.
There you go. For the sake of the children. And for the sake of the children, we will now bring this podcast to a close. This has been Party Chat Podcast episode 077. It's been a blast. Hopefully next week our Lord and Master will have returned.
If he hasn't, we're just going to have to carry on the JRPG, Western RPG debate forever. Forever!
If we haven't, I don't know, next week we'll probably talk about Ukulele because that's out. So there you go.
Oh, great. Another game I'm really great with. Jokes.
Jokes. I have been the phenomenal Slaze J Styles. I have been joined by the Queen, Laura Flair.
Hey!
I don't know why I'm doing wrestling.
It's because it's WrestleMania weekend. When
WrestleMania, please kill me. Please kill me.
No, I'm going to be honest. I really wish we'd done this WrestleMania. Just for the record, to pull back the curtain, we're recording this on a Friday before everything. I mean, progress is going on at the moment. But we recorded... I think we should have recorded it on the Tuesday morning. Actually, no, Wednesday morning, because I might even do SmackDown Live this year as well. And basically, if Laura was sleep deprived for like 5 nights in a row and see how sane she is.
So there you go, kids. Look out for a special episode coming this week where Laura and Slazo are dead to the world and try and talk about something.
When I get sleep deprived, I'm just saying, I could probably be more insightful.
That'll be it. Well, there you go, kids. There's something to look forward to. But until then, we will see you next time. Later days, everybody.